Why do we watch bad movies? There's a story about a guy who lived somewhere and he thought that creative outlets can be a comfort zone, at the same time a place for challenge and growth, and it can harbor an immense amount of self-doubt and anxiety. Roar. You might appreciate someone at their skill more when, in comparison, you watch someone else do it really, really badly and learn through the consequences of their poor choices, but also because their poor choices might sometimes reveal a brilliant way of going around the budget. In a hyper-produced and polished billion-dollar CGI project, you are not concerned about your lighting. People have that covered. When you have $19 for your movie, you need to sacrifice things.
And people.
By noticing what didn't work due to it poking us in the eye, we may appreciate more what it takes for a good movie, especially on lower budgets, to work so seamlessly well. And then maybe one can become obsessed with watching bad movies, so you end up watching more movies in a year than you have conversations with actual alive people. And that's maybe when we might drift out of reality and our mental health goes, but why do you do this to yourself?
When for over a couple of decades a human's body and mind become used to a drink on the side during the day, heavier drinking overnight, your mind could approach problems in life through an immature lens. And however high functioning you may be, things in life eventually go wrong, and you have to deal with those, whether you want it or not.
But what does that have to do with transience of life and the stars? I have no idea. I never said it did. Are you alone and desperate for real human connection, but too anxious to connect with real humans because you grew up without any sense of self-worth? Fear not, and join a bad movies Discord server and watch movies online with real humans, away from humans. No eye contact is guaranteed, so you never have to engage in the freeze, fight or flight minigame you usually would when encountering live humans in the wild. Why can it be so overwhelming to be alone with your thoughts? Maybe that's why horror is such a beloved genre in cinema. We are entertained by worse horrors than whatever storm might currently face us, yet our fear makes our situation out to be much, much worse than that. So we find relief in watching fictitious people die in some of the worst sinister ways imaginable. One guy said to a stranger in a park, sometimes switching off from the worldwide connectionings of the interweb's browsing experience and sitting still with just yourself doesn't have to be a gruesome encounter. Sometimes, in order to grow, one must retreat into their hermit lair and be only with their own will. Self. The stranger replied, please sir, I just want to eat my sandwich. My lunch break is almost over. Sometimes giving ourselves some breathing room away from Earth and society and getting in touch with whomever is exhaustedly screaming for attention from within us is good. Yo, what up? And then your inner child is like, hey, how about we start doing this thing now? And you're like, nah bro, we don't have money for that. And your inner child's like, we'll make it work. That was a financial mistake. But you gotta have a chat with your thoughts every once in a while, and you ought to let go of some of those thoughts. And drifting off into flow for 5 hours at a time, making a vision reality, offers a wide meadow for some of those thoughts to run off into, like ghosts into fog. And that's good. A tree sheds its leaves to survive. Sometimes letting some people remain in your past and leaving that past in the past is just survival. The master then answered to the student, just breathe, bro, for a moment. Just breathe. Hello, I need it. No, just breathe. Sir, I needed to get out at the last stop. Breathe! Just letting thoughts go, noticing them, but not engaging. This also can help with things concerning to like mental health wise and stuff, so it's good. Allows ourselves to not do anything else except breathing in and breathing out. And then the master died, as we all inevitably do, so no need to take things too seriously. This concludes my review for The Quiet Girl from 2022. It was a soul-cleansing experience. I genuinely recommend this movie as it helped unleash demons from my chest through buckets of tears. I was left dehydrated for 6 days afterwards, so have fluids when watching. 9 out of 7 buckets.